Hi guys, this is going to be a video on a iPhone 5S. Yep, iPhone 5S screen replacement. And it's actually a refurbished job. I'm going to cut the glass off the front of that, use the LCD and adhere it to a new glass front. So this is how we're going to do it. So this is the screen here. Obviously it's cracked. The LCD is still in working condition as I'm aware, and yeah, we're going to cut the front glass off and replace it with new glass. So there we go. I normally use my fingernails on this section. It's pretty easy just to peel this plastic bezel in this around the outside. As you can see, it's coming off pretty easy, not too much drama there. So we get rid of the plastic first. It gets a bit tight down the bottom here, obviously because of the area. It covers a bit more of the area. Most of this stuff is pretty easy to get off, but as you get down to the bottom here, it gets a little bit harder. I'm going to try and keep this frame too, so we can use it later. And yeah, I might just get something in there to help me get the plastic off this screen. Always be mindful of your LCD. You don't want to be damaging that either, so just yeah, just keep clear of that when you're sticking tools in there to get the mid-frame section off. I don't actually know what they call these. I don't really do a lot of these repairs. I mean, I just do screen replacements, and I repair all the other problems you have with devices. I've never, well, this is probably the second one I've done. I've broken it there, so obviously we're not going to use that one. So yeah, throw that in the bin. Rightio, now over here I've got my my hot plate. I brought it from China. Wasn't that expensive. I think I paid, you know, a couple $100 for it a couple of years ago. I haven't even used it that much. I've used it now and again just to play with. I just thought I'd buy one just to yeah, use it and have a bit of a play. So I've got my temperature gauge down here. It's currently at 84. I set it at 93 to do this job. I think 93 is hot enough. It's getting up there now, so I think we're just about ready to pop our LCD on there. I've got to see if you see these two markings here. Tell me what screens, if I do cut the glass fronts off them, they fit. The LCD fits there, and it just shows me the pattern of the flex cables. And as you can see, it fits in that one perfect. So it's either a 5S or a 5C. The 5Cs are the same, so you've got to be really aware of that, because you can get in trouble if you try to plug a 5C screen onto a 5S. You can actually burn stuff out on your motherboard because the connections just ain't right. They're close, but they're not right, and you can damage your phone by doing that. So anyway, we're going to throw it on this hot plate here. I'm just going to go bang like that. Nothing fancy here. I'll just lock these bottom ones down. They just click into place like this. I might stick this on top of the light so you can have a better view of it. Yeah, it doesn't look too bad. Hopefully you guys can see what's going on. Now I'll just straighten that a bit there. There's no glass to pin to on this side, obviously, so what we might do is just move it up this way a bit and pin it somehow. I don't really know how we're going to pin it down, but anyway, I think two might hold it. They're normally pretty easy to cut off once they're hot enough. Yeah, we'll just check the temperature on that. Yeah, it's up to 79 already. It's going pretty good. So I've used this wire here. It's thin wire. I don't even know the gauge. It's written on there. There you go. It's it's not marked. So it's 100 meters of either 0.8 or it's 200 meters of 0.1 of a mil, which is 100th, 1000th, whatever you want to call it. So I just leave it on the spool, and I grab one of these bubble wrap bags that I get. I get plenty of these from me, and I'll just use that as a handle on the other one, and just wrap it around. It's nice and soft. Seems to work good. And now we're ready to cut. So you just line up your I don't know if you guys can see this, but you just go into the two flex cables there. Meet the screen. There's a bit of rubbish there. I don't know what that is, but we'll go underneath that. Might be a good idea just to take that rubber grommet away, which we'll use later on the new screen, because I don't think they come with them. And I think we're just about ready to cut there. I don't know if you can see the wire. Oops. I hope you guys can see the wire. Anyway, you've got the gist of what I'm doing here. Yeah, it's saying it's 88 degrees, so I think I'm ready to have a bit of a cut here, and we'll see how we go. They're not all the same. I tend to think the new Apple screens are a bit harder to cut off than the ones you buy from China or off eBay. I think they're refurbished screens. There we go. And this one's an easy one. It's just slide. I don't even have to move the wire back, front to back. There, I just pull it through. Come back here, lift it a bit. Here we go. Off it comes. Now you want to be pretty quick with this with a razor blade. I've just got to find one. I should have had it prepped earlier. Here it is. And what we do is just peel all that glass away as quick as possible, because as soon as the glue starts to cool down, it'll start adhering to the glass again. So you want to be pretty quick when you do this. Just helps you out a little bit easier. So it's already starting to adhere now. See how that one was a bit harder to get off. Yeah, got rid of that bit. And we'll just take off those little bits of shards there. And obviously you should be testing this screen after every part that you do in this refurbishment. We could have damaged it, we could not have, just hit and miss. I mean, most of the time cutting the glass front off one of these screens doesn't seem to affect the working of the screen much, from my experience. I don't do them all the time, like I said, so yeah, this is probably the third time I've actually done one. But yeah, that's looking good, and looking ready to move on to the next step. Okay, in this part of the video we're going to do a voiceover, because I'm going to speed the video up ×2 and ×3 to get through this a bit quicker. So there we go, we're going to try and remove some of this adhesive off the screen. So we're going to try it back on the hot plate. Now you can use a heat gun if you like, if you haven't got one of these hot plates. It's not necessary to have one of these, but I just thought I'd give one of these a try today. We've got one laying around here, so I thought I'd give it a go. So we're going to try and bring the screen back up to temperature. I normally like to work and try and get the adhesive off between 70 and 80 degrees. I don't like to go any higher than 80. I never like to work with any screen higher than 80. I mean, some Samsungs you might have to get them a little bit hotter, but in this case, well, 80 degrees is fine. Yeah, so we'll bring it over here to the bench and try and cut off some of this excess adhesive with the razor blade. There you go, I'm just scraping down the screen here. I'd like to have my razor blade on a 45-degree angle. It seems to work fine. Just make sure that when you're using it, it slides down the screen. If it feel it biting, stop it immediately, as chances are you're actually damaging the digitizer. So as long as it's sliding around and you can feel it just sliding through the adhesive, you should be fine. Try not to put too much pressure on it either, and make sure you've got a nice level table or something level. I'm starting to lose a bit of heat there, so I might throw it back on the hot plate. Yeah, just a word of advice about the screen. Make sure you've got a level surface, because you don't want nothing that's stuck underneath it, because you're just going to put pressure. When you put pressure on it with the razor blade, you could crack the LCD. They are fragile, and it's good to have a nice level surface. So we're bringing this screen back up to around the 70–80 degree range, and back on the bench we go, and we'll give it a bit more of a shave. Try and get most of this adhesive off. The more you get off of the razor blade, the easier it's going to be to polish with your rag and your isopropyl alcohol when we get to that stage. So yeah, we'll just try and get off as much as we can with the razor blade. Just keep in mind that when you're going up towards the flex cables, is to really be careful around that top area up there when your fingers are to see, because it doesn't take much to damage the connectors up the top there. So this one doesn't look too bad, we might just go with that. And here's another one we're going to do. So we're going to do 2 screens today, just in case one fails. I mean, the success rate ain't great with this, but I mean, we don't do these all the time either, so I guess if the more practice you got with it, the better off you'd be. I'm having a bit of a go today. I'm pretty bored, I've got nothing better to do, so I thought I'll pull it out the hot plate and we'll give it a go. So we're bringing this other screen up now to the 70 degree range, 70 to 80 degree range, and we're going to start cutting some glue off this screen here. I've found that some adhesives are really easy to take off, and some are a lot harder depending on who manufactures them, I guess. But yeah, they do use different materials and different grades of this stuff. So this stuff here on this screen was a lot easier to scrape off than the last one. It just peels straight off, as you can see with the razor blade there. I'm getting rid of the heat of it just by nice clean swipes. It's at the same temperature, so it wasn't a temperature issue. It's still at 70 degree range. They cool down pretty quick, obviously, as you put them on the bench. So the faster you work, the cleaner your job's going to be. And yeah, just be careful at the top here again. Make sure not to go near the connectors there, where your digitizer and your LCD connect to the flex cables. And look at that. First go, we got rid of most of it. Yeah, so here we are on the cleaning stage with the isopropyl alcohol. We use 100% isopropyl to clean these screens up. Just watch along here again, up the top area there, because that's the most vulnerable part when you're cleaning these screens. This screen's number 2. I've marked them 2 and 3, so we know what we're working with here. Then yeah, so just as you're cleaning the top section of this screen, just make sure you're aware that you could damage the flex cable and damage the connectors there to the LCD and digitizer. So I like to just rub sideways left to right up the top here, just getting as close as I can, but not trying to aggravate the connectors up the top there too much. And just work your way around there, cleaning off the Loca with the isopropyl alcohol. I find a pillowcase a nice rag to use. The cotton seems to work really well with cleaning up screens. Obviously you're going to get a lot of fine scratches and stuff from the abrasiveness as you're rubbing, but that's not going to be an issue when we go to put on the Loca glue, as it fills in all the fine scratches that we do make on this screen, on these screens today. And as you're rubbing around the outside edge, just make sure your rag isn't too wet, because you can get seepage into the LCD, which really makes the appearance of the display horrible after you've cleaned it. The Loca glue is the worst. This is the hardest part to try and keep out of the LCD, as well as you get seepage in there from your Loca glue. So yeah, just bear that in mind. If you've got a wet rag, try and start in the middle and work your way out to the edges as it's evaporating. The alcohol evaporates pretty quick, so I don't think there's too much of a drama in this stage of the refurbish. But when we get down to the Loca glue, that's when you've got to really be careful, because you're going to get, chances are you will get seepage. I haven't well, like I said, we don't do these all the time. This is probably the third time I've done this, and just about every time I've had some form of seepage into the LCD with the Loca glue. But yeah, so we use that, once again, isopropyl alcohol here with a cotton rag, and it seems to work pretty well, cleaning off the excess glue that's still stuck to the LCD. So it's starting to come up pretty clean there. We'll just work our way around the edges there, and it's starting to look pretty good, pretty clean. You don't have to be perfect with these. The Loca glue does work well in filling in any scratches and light abrasive marks that you've made while you do this section of the repair. So yeah, it's not much of an issue here. Just as long as you've got a flat surface again, make sure you're not bending the LCD, because you can really damage them. They are fragile pieces of gear, and you should take a bit of care not to put too much pressure on them. So here we go, nice and clean. And I think that one is ready to be Loca glued. Number 2. More, yeah, come up pretty good. This one's number 3. See the blisters on my finger here? This is from rubbing the glue off the screen. I couldn't do it with a razor blade. The razor blade just would not cut the rubbery sort of gluey stuff there. There's a big ball of it there from where I got it off the last screen. So I just was rubbing with my fingers, and I ended up running blisters on my thumb and my fingers from trying to get it off. It was the only method I could use to dissipate the adhesive. So after I've peeled off most of that, that's that one there. This is the one we just cleaned up here. It looks nice and shiny.
So now we're back here with that already for the test. This screen, so this one was number 2, this one was the one that we cleaned earlier. Number 2. And we'll just stick it in my phone. I'm using my iPhone 5S at the moment, because I don't advise doing this, obviously, because you could wreck your 2 terminals here and here. But just for the sake of testing this phone, I'm going to use my phone, because obviously it's no point going any further unless the screen's working. There we go, plug it in. Power. I don't know if you can see that, but no, that's no good at all. There's spots there. I don't know if you can see that in the light. I'll turn this light off and we'll see if you can see it. Look at that. So at this stage it's stuffed completely. It could have been stuffed before we even refurbed it, but anyway, we'll take this one off and we'll try number 3. Now this one was number 3. This is the one that was really hard to get the glue off. It still hasn't been cleaned yet, but as you can see by my thumbnails, I had to really do some rubbing to get that glue off, and it's yeah, blisters are popping up. So we'll test this one out and see how it's going. Turn the light off again so we can see the screen, and it looks good, this one. See if the digitizer works. We'll pin it down in the corner there so it doesn't move around. Seems to be all good. Digitizer's working right up to the corners, right around. So this one looks like the one we'll be doing the cleanup on. Turn it off there. Unplug it. So we might do a clean up on this one and see how we go with this. Number 2 could have been stuffed anyway when we before we even done the clean up. It's not usual. I've done a few of these and it's not usual for it to be broken, but we might have just wasted our time on that one, I think. So yeah, we'll get down to cleaning up number 3. Okay, so now we're going to start on the cleanup of this one. This was number 3, the one we tested just a minute ago, and that's the number there. It's still number 3. It was the one that was working before, so we'll give this one a bit of a cleanup and we'll see how we go with it. I just advise to be careful up around the top edges of this, along here. When you're cleaning, try not to go too close to there because you can really do some damage. I mean, that's where all the connectors are, and that's where your flexing cables connect to your digitizer and the LCD. So just be really careful when you go up that edge. So we'll get the IC profile and the rag back out. Here's back with the IC profile, just 100% stuff that I brought. It's quite good, cleans up a lot of stuff, so I use that often. There we go. This one's that one that was really hard to. We'll see how good the IC profile takes the glue off. Seems to be working alright. That was a dry run with a little bit. Get it a bit wet over here and see what happens. Yeah, it seems to be coming off right. It seems to be a bit level. I'll just like clean up the back surface here because you can put pressure on parts that you don't want. You want a nice flat level surface, obviously. So yeah, back in there, that feels like that. Must have been a bit of glue stuck in there. This glue doesn't seem to be too bad to get off. It's coming off with the icy. Rag seems to dry out a bit more, so I'll get a little bit wetter. Give it a good rub. Try and keep the moisture in the middle of the screen. Try not to go right to the edges there like that. With really wet, like you can have it when you rub it on the outside. Make sure it's a little bit drier because you get leaks into the screen really easy. So it's important to look after the sides if you can when you're cleaning these. So when you get your wet rag, get in the middle there and go around and get into there. And then when it starts to dry, then you can move out to the outside edges because you're not having as much liquid there. And yeah, this seems to be coming off pretty good, this stuff. Just give it a bit of white. And now that I've got my phone pulled down, we'll give it another test in and I'll finish cleaning. So yeah, back to this, just cleaning this up. It seems to be a lot tackier, this stuff. It dries pretty quick and it dries tacky, so it might be a little bit more difficult to clean. I'll just get that bit of glue out there. It goes all tacky. Once the alcohol dries, it goes back to its tackness. But it is coming off. It's just persevere with it, I guess. It's coming off. Just working these edges now, getting them clean and nice and level, because that's pretty important. You need a nice level surface. I mean, the scratches on it don't worry too much. The way the glue feels, all that, but yeah, you've got to make sure that the surface is level. That's actually coming off with the finger, and I'll get a bit there. Try not to put too much pressure on the screen when you're holding it either, because I think that could be a cause of why you're breaking. I don't do a lot of these, obviously, but I'm just giving it a go today because I'm a bit bored. And I normally do a lot of repair. Most of mine is just repair work. I don't really do refurbish work, so I just don't see the viability in it. I mean, I buy bulk and get my screens pretty cheap, so yeah, I'm happy with what I do. I just buy new screens ready and done. I guess in China their labour's a lot cheaper. I guess that they can afford to pay people to sit down and do this all day, but fortunately this is not the case in Australia. It's a waste of time really, but I'm just running a video to show you that it is possible. Obviously their refurbishments over there, and they've got machines that do it, and do it quite well from what I've seen in videos. So now I'm getting pretty much down to it. I've got most of it off now, just give it a bit of a white now and clean up. And then we'll do another test to see if they haven't broken it. Number 2 could have been, I never really tested number 2, so it could have actually been broken before we actually started on it. Like I said, I'm using my phone as a tester unit here. I don't normally do this, so I don't really like pulling flex cables on and off the phone because obviously it's going to break it. You can buy adapters that fit onto your phone, or I figure if you jump on the net, you probably find an iPhone phone or on Gumtree or eBay or something like that cheap. Use it as a tester unit. Obviously it's no good for a phone, so you can use it for a tester unit. This ain't the easiest stuff to get off. It seems to dissipate a fair bit with the icy profile, but it tends to set again and goes really tacky. It's weird stuff. The glue was different on number 2. Number 2, it was really easy to cut off the glass. This one was a little bit more difficult to cut. Cut the glass front off the front of it. So now I've got most of the glue off there. I think now I'm going to give it a bit of clean up with a nice fresh piece of rag. No, there's still a little bit there if I keep rubbing. I suppose it is important to get them clean as you can possibly get them. I see the Loca glue fills a lot of space, a lot of gaps and scratches, but you really want it level, because when you go to put the glass on there, obviously you're going to have a high spot where the glue's not going to sit real well. So I'd get the leveler you got it, the better. So that's looking pretty good. Hopefully it's still working. When we plug it back in to give it a test, I'll give it one more wipe over. Just in this corner here seems to be a bit of a... Yeah, there's the stuff right there. A lot of screens you see on eBay are actually refurbished, and even though they say they're new, they've been factory made. They're actually there's some, like, I don't know. I brought a few off eBay, and I just don't find the quality as good as what I do off my supplier. So I just stick with my supplier. I pay that little bit more for the screens, obviously, but I mean, you get what you pay for, I guess. Same with anything. So I'm pretty happy with that. I'll give that a bit of a wipe over. Obviously, you see the time it's taken to do this. Obviously, you wouldn't sit around doing this as a job all day. Or, well, you could, I guess, if you thought there would be money in it. But I don't know if I'd like to. So yeah, there we go. That one's fairly clean. The glue itself's actually stuck it to the board. It's really weird glue. It's almost like it's like the Samsung screen glue. It's a tacky sort of stuff, but it's very it's a lot harder than the Samsung glue. So there we go. You can see the scratches in the from where I've been wiping up and down, but I mean, other than that, oh, that corner doesn't look good in the light there. I think I might have broken it there. Oh no, it's a smudge. We'll have a test anyway. Put it on the tester. So this is my phone. Obviously, I don't like plugging stuff on and off and on and off of your phone, because it's going to end up ruining it. But just for this video here, I'm going to use it. Obviously, like what I said before, you'd really want an old phone. This is a 5S, this one, and yeah, I really like it. I don't want to break it. They're worth a lot of money. So I'll turn off this light again, and hopefully, yeah, looks great. Oh, the digitizer seems to be not good. Just check the plugs. I don't really see why the digitizer would be a problem. Yeah, just needed a bit of a reset. I think it's my finger. Okay, so this is that one that we just cleaned. That's number 3. I've plugged it onto the phone there. This is my phone. I keep saying that, yeah, but anyway. So I'll pin it down there so it's stable without touching the digitizer. We'll turn it on. I don't know if you can see that, but I'll turn this light off and we'll have a look at it. Now that's a bit better. Cancel, that seems to be working alright. No dropouts in the digitizer. Looks pretty good. Okay, I think we're ready to Loca glue this one. So that was number 3. That's the one with the glue that was really on it before, really resilient glue. So I think we're ready to Loca glue this one. Yeah. Okay, so this part here we're ready for the Loca glue. We're going to Loca glue this LCD down, number 3 that we cleaned up earlier. That give me blisters from getting the glue off. This is it here. I'll just give it a bit more of a wipe down. I've got fingerprints over it. It's not perfectly clean. I'm hoping most of the Loca glue will fill that. I mean, we're not in a clean room here by any way, shape or form. Obviously, most of this work's done in a clean room. So, there we go. That's pretty clean. I'm happy with that. What I'm going to do is, to prevent the Loca from dripping down and into the LCD, I'm going to use some sticky tape here. And just put it right on the edge there, just to protect the screen from getting Loca glue in it. And there's one bit. That didn't work real well. I want to get it right on the edge, I mean where the glass sort of covers it, so you can't see it. Not that it's going to be on there anyway, but I'm going to pull it off after I've Loca glued it. But yeah, it's just like an edge protection there. And I'm going to do that all around the screen. This will stop the Loca glue from creeping into the LCD when we apply. This is just normal, everyday, run-of-the-mill sticky tape. Let's get it on the edge there, and that'll protect the it'll protect the screen from the Loca glue. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with that. I'm just wondering if I should need a bit up the top there as well. I mean, the trick is not to put too much glue on there, but it can't be helped. I mean, I don't measure the Loca glue when I'm using it, and I just put random amounts on. So sometimes you might have a bit too much, and sometimes you mightn't have enough. Just depends at the time. I'm just looking at that edge there. I don't know if that's the it is. It's coming apart. Push it down a bit more. Make sure it stays down. Alrighty. Now you see I've got my screen here. This is an iPhone 5 screen. I brought them as iPhone 5, but they work for 5S. They've got the proximity sensor hole there and everything else. They're exactly the same size. I think they're going to do quite well for a 5S. I'll make that one white. I've got a couple of old frames here. Obviously I don't do this, but I mean obviously, you know, if you were to do this properly, you'd buy these frames. Yeah, I can give you the link if you like to where you can buy these screens. But this one needs a bit of a clean up. It's got some glass stuck in there. Obviously, white frame. You'll need a white frame to go with the screen. I've got a nice black one here that's been cleaned up off of another screen too. It's pretty clean, but unfortunately when you stick to that on there, it's just not going to look right. So we'll give this one a bit of a clean up here. I'll just put in a nice screen, repaired screen aside. That glass just popped straight out of there. I mean, this is what they do. This is China stuff for you, obviously. This one's been a refurb before. And this is exactly what they do over there, except obviously they're in a clean room and they got machines to save time. And I know that that's what they do over there. And you can tell by screen quality. You buy some screens, then the quality's just not there. And the reason why is because they use copied screens. No, I'm not, when I say copy, I mean there's no such thing as an original iPhone screen anyway. They're just quality. It's either good quality or it's not. So I'm giving this a bit of a clean up. I mean, obviously you buy these, so yeah. Just scrape all the excess glue that was in there to begin with. That looks pretty good. I'm not fussy. I'm not trying to like sell these screens in any way. I'll probably use it on my phone. My phone's got a crack on it at the moment, so I thought I'd do a video on the refurbs of these. So that looks pretty clean to me. I'm happy with that. I'll just get rid of the rubbish. Okay, now I've got this frame here. It's an iPhone 5 frame. It's got iPhone 5 written there. There's no other marking on it. It's just a mould, they call them. Mould. It's a template to glue down your LCD screens. And how it goes is, well, this one's it's meant for an iPhone 5, but I'm pretty sure that this iPhone 5S screen will fit right in there. Well, the sticky tape's made it a bit tighter, so just be careful there when you go to put it in, that you don't hurt the LCD. The tape method mightn't be so crash hot, but that seems to have gone in there. It's a tight fit, obviously. The moulds are made especially for the screen, but I've managed to seat it down there okay. I guess if I'd wrapped the tape a lot tighter around there, it would have been a better deal. There's tape lifting up here actually on the side here. Maybe tape's not a good method. Yeah, because I'm getting lift there and that's going to affect the Loca. So we'll just give it a trim. Careful not to cut the flex cables. It'd be good if it stayed down, but I don't think it is. I think it's going to be more of a problem than what we anticipated. Hopefully. The main thing is I don't want no Loca glue getting down in between that screen, like I said earlier, so I'm just going to go with it. I mean, yeah, we'll see how it goes. Okay, so our screen's in. That's fitting in there nicely. I don't really like these bits of tape here. They need to be pretty. I just want to cut that bit of tape off there on the corner. Okay, now I've got fingerprints in there. I'm going to give it another wipe with some icy profile. Get the old icy back on there and give it another quick wipe down before we start gluing. That's not perfectly clean, as you can see. Looking through the light there, you can see there's a couple little scratches down the bottom there. I don't know if you can see them in the light there, but yeah. It's going to be okay, I think. Now, our glass screen. iPhone 5. I guess the iPhone 5 will fit on there nicely. We might just pull that tab when we're ready. And we're going to get down to Loca glue. Yeah, I don't know if this tape's going to be any good. It keeps peeling up. It's not a good solution, I don't think. But you'll probably see that I will get Loca glue stuck in the in between the screen. I don't think you get much success. But I'll just try this tape method to see. And obviously the strip on the edge should cover most of that tape, from what I'm hoping. And when I drop it in there, yeah, it's pretty close. It's actually a bit too close. We might just remove the tape, I think. Yeah, we might just remove the tape. Well, on this edge I will. We'll see how it works on the other side, just as a bit of an experiment. I'll pull the tape off this side because it's overlapping too much. And come along the bottom there too. And then we'll see how well protected this side is. This side looks good. It was the right amount of tape, so it's going to be covered by the LCD. I mean the glass screen when I put it on. Alrighty, here we go. And drop it in the mould. Now my UV lacquer I use is just the normal everyday UV lacquer that everybody else uses. It comes in a tube like this. I think there's a dispenser that comes with it, a gun type dispenser, but no, we don't use that. I haven't got one on there. So, here we go. It's very hard to judge exactly how much of this stuff you need. Sometimes you can get it too much, sometimes not enough. Main trick is not to get air bubbles in it. That's gonna hurt you. You just drop it in like this. It's pretty easy to handle. Okay. Like I said, I'm not a professional at this. I don't do this at all. I'm just yeah, there's the Loca glue. We'll have a go and see what happens. So here's the screen here. I'm just going to pull the back off it. Take both cases, front and back. So now I'm going to drop this from the top and work my way down to the bottom. Probably should push some flex cables down a bit. That's better. And just use a spudger, I guess, to lower it down. Holding that down like that. Oops, dropped it way too quick. Air bubble straight away. Whoop, whoop. Obviously, see that? It only takes one slip up. So I'm actually going to try and lift that, if I can do that. We'll give it another go. No, it's not going to lift.
There's air bubbles in there, everywhere. Well, we'll try it again another song. Now, I don't really push on. I don't know if you can see that in the light's a bit sucky.
Our mate Ed Sheeran there. That song is Photograph. You're with Dan and Maz this afternoon, and it is time to sink our teeth into some juicy new video
I'll actually pull that out of there before it goes into the
Okay, the new video from YouTube goes for 9 minutes. And it
I'll start pushing from the bottom. See how that works. Now that it's in position.
Not content with jamming their songs into all
Oh no, it moves. It's very maneuverable.
created a video. It's going to take up 9 minutes of my busy day. It's Bono though. Like he can
No, that's not a good idea. This was our real balls up this one, but anyway, we'll see how we go with it. Just make sure the LCD's down
video
again.
isn't out quite yet, but Mike Tyson has given an interview talking about his appearance in the new Madonna video. If that makes sense. Mike Tyson and Madonna. Had no idea that they were mates. Did not know they even knew each other. Well, he's actually featured on the song. It's called Iconic, and he says he looks like a savage in the music video. So here it is.
And you can actually see the access pissing out of it down the bottom there. We're going to keep going ahead with this, just for an experimental process. I'm going to get something nice and soft here, and I'm going to lay it on top and give it a squeeze from the top and see how that goes. You can see the Loca glue starting to ooze out of the sides there. We're going to keep this away from the screen, obviously. I don't know about these joins in the corners here. I can see Loca glue right there in the corner. I don't know if you can see it. I'll zoom in and see if you can see that. In there's Loca glue. And oozing out of here. And up here there's Loca glue. So we're letting it ooze from the top. See it all oozing out of there. Hopefully that'll save it from getting into the digitizer at least. But yep, that's pretty much set there. Lots of air bubbles. Obviously I dropped it, but yeah. So now we'll give it a fry and see what happens. Let's put that there and I'll get my trusty UV. I might actually do this upside down for another experimental thing. So I've just got a UV light there. I'll zoom back out so you can see. It's just a normal UV. They've got UV bulbs in them. And we'll plug that in and we'll see how we go with that. Yeah. Obviously you're supposed to, I've seen the normal method, they put it down like this and put the screen face up underneath here, but this time around I think we're going to go this way for a bit of an experiment. To try and keep that Loca glue from seeping into the screen. If we can keep this way, the glue will fall this way, like out instead of into the screen. Hopefully. So we'll give it a run and see what happens. I might just hold it there by hand. There's a lot of air bubbles in this. I mean, this ain't going to be a job. No
great job by any way, shape or form, but anyway, we had a bit of a play today, and yeah, this can be a what not to do video, I guess. So we're just setting off the glue now. I'm just putting it in sideways like this, just to, it doesn't take long for a UV light to make the glue go off. To where it's, it'll be ready to, so it won't start coming off the screen, and then we'll drop it in there good and turn it over and dry the other side as well. Hopefully this will, at least we're working out, because we don't want the glue to go in between the screens, and it happens all the time. It's a very hard process to actually glue the glass onto the LCD without it seeping along the edges inside underneath the screen, which causes some damage to the LCD, and it just don't look good. I mean, this ain't gonna look good anyway. Hopefully we don't get any seepage, but even if we don't, we're gonna get air bubbles, that's for sure, because we dropped it in there earlier. So now I think that's pretty set. Now I'm going to turn it upside down and just give it a dry. I can set it like this now. I might leave it there for another couple of minutes. These UV lights you can pick up off eBay for like 10-15 bucks. I mean, I paid a fair bit for this, a little bit more for this one, because it's purposely made for doing one of these. It was in a kit with the Okay guys, this has been sitting on there for about 5 or 10 minutes now, and I think we're ready to pull this out of the mould, and you can see the seepage there. I'm going to pull this out of the mould, and we're going to connect it up to my 5S and see how we go. It's been sitting on the UV light now for about 10 minutes. Okay, so we've been baking the screen that we made earlier after we Loca glued it. This is number 3. I've done a test, it comes up pretty good. The Loca's still a little bit tacky. This light ain't crash hot. I mean, it says it's a UV, it's only 6 watt, and yeah, I don't think it's the best. That's been baking in there for about, yeah, a good half an hour. So yeah, so we'll pop it on the phone here now, and we'll see how we went with it. Bang it on here again. See, this is the thing with plugging stuff in and out of your own phone, is you don't want to be clicking and unclicking and clicking and unclicking on the on the connectors there. I'll just show you the connectors, these ones here. That zoomed in as far as my wife's iPad can go, but yeah, these connectors here, you really don't want to be clicking and unclicking and unclicking and unclicking, because you're going to end up doing some damage to the main board, and then you'll have to, if you're any good at soldering, you'll have to solder in your connector on there, which is a bit of a pain in the butt, really. So anyway, we'll put this down, we'll check out how we went. I'll turn this light off again so we can, then I'll zoom out of here, hang on a sec. We'll check how we went with it. Okay. Oh look, I brought some new isopropyl off eBay. There you go, I've got 2 litres coming. And yeah. So that's looking good. Everything seems to be working well. Oh, hang on, up the top corner there's a seepage. See the seepage? And if you actually move it on different angles, we've got seepage down the bottom there too. It's a real, it is a hard thing to do, really. You just, I've never really been successful at it. That's even with the sticky tape. It's still got in there somehow. Eventually, you got seepage there. But I mean, other than that, I haven't got a home button connected, so I can't go back. But anyway, other than that, digitizer's working. Still got air bubbles in it. If you have a look there, you can probably see. I'll turn the light on and check out the air bubbles. I don't know if you can see them in the light there, but there is a few air bubbles in there. But I'm quite happy with that. I'm happy to use that as a screen for now. This is the screen. This is my original screen off the off my phone, and as you can see down the bottom there, it's all cracked and smashed, and yeah. So I think I'll just use this white one now. So now we're going to bring the frame in here, and I've just got some everyday super glue. I mean, you know, I'm not, like I said before, when I keep saying, this ain't a professional job in any way, shape or form. It's just showing how you can sort of refurb. I mean, it still hasn't worked out perfect so far. We've dropped the screen and got air bubbles for a start, and then now we've got seepage, so that's not good, but anyway, I'm happy with the screen. I think I'll use it on my phone. Not much of a problem there. So I'll just put some super glue on there. I'm going to drag this up underneath the flex cables there, and just place it where it should go. Second hand frame as well. I mean, we're not fuzzy here. Still left the sticky tape on, like I'm not, you know, we're not out to do no miracle work here today. You just like pick it up there and you can just thumb it around there with your thumb and fingers. It's pretty easy to do, just like get it in position. That's alright, I'm happy with that. Just wait for the glue to go off. While you're waiting for that, you can get your parts that you stripped off earlier. Okay, so back to that. These are the pieces I pulled off the old screen earlier. I don't know if you can see them properly. I'll focus in a bit, might give you a bit more of an idea. But that's just for the earpiece section of the phone. It's just the bit of mesh and the rubber grommet type thing, where your proximity sensor and everything goes. Yeah, I'm just going to get some 3M tape here. Cut a bit off. Cut off 2 bits. Get the tweezers. Yeah, I'm just going to pop that in. This is to stick down the mesh and the grommet. There's not a lot of room there, as you can see from where the LCD is. I mean, I don't think I'm even going to put another bit of sticky tape in there. I'm just going to dodge it up and stick our mesh down. So yeah, I'm just going to stick the mesh down there with a bit of double-sided sticky tape. Seems to be in position pretty good there, I think. And I'll get another bit of double-sided, which is this bit here, hopefully. Got phone calls coming in left, right and centre here, excuse that. And get another bit of double-sided sticky tape here. I'm just going to bung that on top there like that. Careful not to block the camera obviously, but I think that'll do nicely for the grommet. Now we're going to put the grommet in. And it just fits there like that. I'm pretty sure. Can't really double check on mine because the camera unit and everything's on there, so yeah, we'll just go for a shot with it. And I think the super glue stuck that frame down fairly good. I'm pretty happy with that. And now I'm going to stick it straight on the well, actually, I've got to pull the camera unit and everything on it, but anyway, we'll place it to see how it fits. Here we go again, plugging on the connectors, which is never, it can't be any good for it. I mean, it doesn't seem to be hurting it at the moment, but it can't be any good. So yeah. The frame looks okay. Oh well, see the sides there, it didn't stick. I didn't put no glue down there because it's very fine. I don't know. You probably run some double-sided sticky tape down there, I guess. But yeah, my stuff's a bit thick. I'm not sure the width of this stuff, but I think it's pretty. It's a lot wider than that, and it's coming up as come up as 4 mil. Yeah, or 3.5 mil. So there you go. Alrighty, we're going to whack this on. And the frame on this too is not crash up. It's been knocked around. I actually got it off a customer that wanted to do a swap for a screen replacement, and I thought it was a good deal at the time because I only had an iPhone 5, and I thought, yeah, I'll upgrade to a 5S, and yeah, unfortunately it has had a bit of a knock around. There's cracks up the top there, but you know, a phone's a phone. I'm not fussed what it looks like. It gets bashed around in my pocket and bashed around here on the work table, and yeah, as long as it's working, which it does, everything works, cameras, and you know, can make videos off it. I'm happy. So here we go. What's the bung the shield on there. We've got the screws up there on the bench. Let's put one of them in at a time. Careful not to drop any. Once again, I know exactly what screws go in what holes is because I placed them in the right positions on the magnet. So you know, and this one's obviously not magnetic because it's an aluminium based screw. It is a little bit magnetic, but it's they're aluminium based, that last one, so it's got to be put in a tweezers. And I'll screw it down. I've probably forgotten something along the line, guys. I think everything's intact and looking like it should be. Yeah. I don't think I've left anything out here, so I think it's ready to be closed up. Top goes in first. Now I'm going to shut it down here, I think, because which I probably should have done before, because you should never really work with them going. So, yeah. So this is my method of closing up the 5S, because you got to connect up the home button digitizer. So I just lay the flex cable. I don't know if you can really see there. I don't know what the light's like here either, but I don't think you can really see that well. Yeah, the light's not crashing. But yeah, I just line up the flex cable on the plug, and I mean this one's bent and stuff, then we'll get a better one. These are the beauty of these tools that you get with the screens that you buy, is you can just throw the stuff away. What's the point on buying something and, you know, that's how I look at it. They work. I've brought tools in the past, but they just, you know, it's more of a headache than what it's worth. Yep, there you go, I've dropped my shield. Because of my big blister that I got on my finger earlier, I didn't feel it, and unfortunately I dropped it, so I might have to just zoom out a bit here and have a look what's happened to it. My bench is a pigsty here, guys, sorry about this. Okay, I've lost the home. Oh no, here we go. I found it. Great. Here's the home button shield, and that just goes on that way. Tab's always out, so when you put that in there like that, the tab always faces out towards the charging port. I don't know if you can see that. Focus is not real good. The iPhones don't focus real well. It's autofocus. So I'll just drop that into the screen like that. You see, I think a GoPro might be better for this, because like where you look is where you're actually doing the repair. Can you see in there? That light's really bad, isn't it? Yeah, well, I really need you'd almost need a halogen spotlight in here to get light brightness. I mean, look how dark it is in there, really. Anyway. Okay, we're going to close it up. Well, hopefully we're going to close it up. Now, my phone here, because of the bends and the kicks in it, I don't know if you can see up the top there, there's a fair ding on there. These corners are being bashed in. I mean, you know, you can try and flog and reshape, like I've seen on videos in the past where they actually bang them around, but I don't like to do that. I just like to, my method to get these screens in when they don't fit is get your Stanley knife out and trim this plastic here. Careful not to cut your finger, it's pretty tedious, but if you just get your Stanley in there and just shape it. It's plastic. Why touch the frame? Why beat the phone around when you can just get in there with a Stanley and trim these edges? That's how I look at it. The damage is done. Like, there's no point in trying to reshape and banging people's phones around, because you know, it's a lot easier just to, I find it's a lot easier anyways, just to give these edges a bit of a shave. Obviously careful to watch the flex cables inside, don't go too deep with your razor, but yeah. And they seem to, they fit a lot easier. This frame edgings too seems to be a lot harder than the ones I'm used to. They seem to just slice off unless my razor's going blunt on the. Maybe it could be my razor blade too, but anyway. So that's that. Now we push that top up in there, make sure that goes in first. Nice. Then I come down to the edges like that. Make sure it's pretty even on both sides. And now we can work it in. Click, there's one side. The other side's being a little bit more hesitant. There it goes, it's in. Okay. Bottom screws in. We've got a black button there, but he gives us stuff. I'm happy with it. I mean, if you wanted to be a bit more fussy, you could just spend a lot more time on the refurb, but yeah, I don't know. Unless you're doing a production, you want to be doing like 15, 20 screens at a time. And obviously not drop it on there like I did. I'll just give this a wipe now to show you the bubbles that we've got. So we have bubbles and we also have seepage. Okay, so that's it put together now. Now we're going to get the old trusty ISO out and give it a bit of a wipe up and get rid of that excess Loca glue that we've had on there.
And then we can really show up these air bubbles. But I'm telling you what, I think your screen's a lot better than the one I had on there. Give it a good buff up. Show up these air bubbles. I don't know if you've seen them earlier in the video, but yeah, this will definitely show them up. I'll turn. Oh no, yeah, I don't know if you can see them or not, but anyway. And there we go. Switch this off. I'm happy with the quality. The screen's definitely good quality screen. Must be an original, one of the Apple ones. I'd say that's why it was, because the glue was so hard to get off. But that's nice and crisp. The digitizer's working flawlessly, by what I can see. Yep. So I'm happy with that. And there you go. That's a refurb. Plus air bubbles. Plus seepage. The seepage, I'll show you the seepage. You really have to bring up a white screen. I might go on here. There you go. Now I'll turn this slide off so you can see the seepage a bit. There we go. See up in the corner there's our logo, Selman logo, and that's who you call if you want phone repairs. We're happy to help you out. Go back to Google. So we get a nice white screen. And there we go. I don't know if you can see you can. Just up in the corner there we've got seepage. Down the bottom there, seepage. Up the sides was good. That's where we had our sticky tape. So, yeah, I don't really know why. Oh, I'll tell you when it was. I sat it upright like this, and it seeped down that way when I had it upright. But I guess if you just had it level, like we did at the start, in the mould, and have it upside down, so any seepage that does come out with the Loca, it drips away from the screen. I could probably make another video and show that, but yeah, other than that, I'm happy. That's going to do me for till I smash it again, which will be in a couple of weeks, no doubt. And yeah, thumbs up if you like the video, guys, and thanks for watching.